If you don't advocate for yourself and your own self-care, no one else is going to do it. So, no is a complete sentence. Figuring out how to do that is really important, but I have a major toolbox of self-care. Everything from taking baths to eating soup instead of food to slow me down, to saying no, to knowing my limits. Like, I'm one of those people who take things in so deeply, and I am such an exuberant, kind of energetic person that I'm not somebody who can like stay till the end of a party. I'm not somebody who can like go to the after party. Like, the dinner is usually enough for me. And as much as I want to, I have learned from experience for myself that I have to say no when I'm at enough, not when I'm depleted. I give big, so I have to restore big.
Boy, guess what?
But I love
Okay.
this. I love this. I again, like, sharing music is like my love language, and I love hearing other people's opinions on sound and all of that stuff. And it's like music is such a beautiful thing because it helps me mentally, um, and that's important, right? You need something to help you mentally and keep you in really good mental spaces, which is what I believe we're talking about today, right?
Yes. Our mental
Mental
health.
health.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, so I think, well, I mean, I think this is your lane, right, Davon? Because I know you've pushed
Hmm.
mental health for years, which is why we weren't
I
included
did.
today. But
Absolutely.
yeah, let you lead the pack, baby.
Okay. Yes. So, I mean, we can continue to still talk about music because music is healing to me. When
Hmm.
I need to heal, I seclude myself from the public. I put on the music that speaks to me, the music that calms me, the music that I enjoy, and it helps me heal through whatever is going through that day or whatever I'm going through just in life. Um, just recently, I had a few friends come over, and we're all going through life like everybody else, and it was just drinks, some food, and just music that we are familiar with that was just playing in the background. And as we're having conversations and we're going through, like, we're having like therapy, the music is like adding on to that, and it's reminding us of the times when it came out and how we felt, and how we experienced it, and how we're experiencing that we've all lived the same lives, and it's healing to me. And healing is just a huge part of mental health because we're constantly doing it. You will never 100% be healed because it's just unrealistic. You're always going to be triggered by something. You're always
Hmm.
going to be reminded, but it just matters how you react to it. So when I close myself off and I put on my records and I'm healing, and I roll that blunt and I light it and I let Faith Evans just take me there, it brings me down from wherever I was at outside in the world that was going to probably destroy me. I had to find ways in order for me to disconnect, in order to come back together, to be able to exist and be in this world without killing someone. you
Mm.
know, with
I heard
everything that is
that.
going on in the world, on top of everything that's going on in our personal lives, it's like, how are we surviving? So, and it's important, the older that we get, we kind of find ways to heal. We kind of find ways to cope with what's going on. And in hopes that that's helpful in our lives to continue on. So
Yeah.
when we talk about music, we're so passionate about it because it means stuff to us. And I feel like it's healing to so many people. It's like it's a universal language. Everybody loves music. We might not like the same genre, but we love music. It speaks to our heart, speaks to our soul. And those are things we need to protect when we're healing. So I definitely would love to hear how you guys are healing. Is it music as well, or is it maybe something else?
I tend to write. I feel like I get my when things become crazy and my thoughts become chaotic because they do. I have like I'm thinking about 10,000 things at once and it just doesn't feel right. One of the ways that I heal or I go through my process is that like I write. Like I said, the world and my thoughts get so cloudy at times where I need a place to just express how I'm feeling at the moment. And there's so many things that I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about, my relationship. I'm thinking about my life, my stability, where I am at my age, the creative outlet that I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about ideas. There's so many things that are happening at one time. And so sometimes I just need to sit down and put it all to paper.
Hmm.
Obviously, music, I have a playlist where I call it like my uplifting gospel playlist. And the first song on there is Mariah Carey's Make It Happen.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
and just the lyrics of that song after even reading the book and just to understand the lyrics of that song, it's just like so empowering to me. So it goes into that to Fantasia's I'm Here. And then it goes into Fantasia's I Made It. And so that's like the start of the playlist. So I'm already like,
Yes.
you
You
know what I'm saying?
already.
Right. I'm already just doing my holy day. I'm in it, right? But it's so empowering to me because it reminds me that in these moments of despair or like my dark thoughts or whatever the case is, there's always a way to pull yourself out of it. Like when Mariah says, "No proper shoes upon my feet," sometimes I couldn't even eat. I often cried myself to sleep, but I had to keep on going. That motivates me to like in those moments of when I can't sleep or when I'm sad about whatever I am, I have to keep on going because I have a purpose in life, you know?
Yes.
Fantasia's I Made It. Like I made it through the storm and the rain, so much pressure, so much heartache, so much pain. Like those lyrics they just like resonate with me because I'm all like, yes, girl, I understand what you mean. And so I pick myself up. And also just being around in creative spaces. Like if I can be around my friends and we're creating or we're just talking about ideas or I'm watching them or whatever, that uplifts me. Sometimes it's not always about going out to a bar or whatever. It's just being in these like safe spaces of just like talking and creating and dancing and whatever have you. The gym helps too, although a girl ain't been to the gym in like 2 months. But that's another
I
topic
bet
for
you
another
still can't
day.
tell.
Child. And again, that goes back to right. Y'all probably can't tell, but for me, I'm all like, "Meh, I could do better, But that's just me being up myself and
Mhm.
me going through the journey of like understanding that it is okay. So those are my ways of healing. Um, I often try not to do anything detrimental. And when I say detrimental, which is no judgment to anyone else that does that to cope, I typically don't run to the alcohol. I typically don't run to anything that I feel like, oh, let me go and, maybe do self pleasure, all of those things, because those are dopamine boosts, right? I typically don't try to go to those things. I try to do like things that I am passionate about and put that energy into that because I feel like that gives me back the energy that I need to then grow. So,
Mhm.
yeah. What about you, Marcus?
Yes.
Um, whew. Do y'all want the short list or the long?
I don't know.
I
Somewhere in
mean,
the
give us the
middle.
in between.
Let me see what I can do. Um, Creativity for me is a big outlet for my mental health. Obviously, um, I feel like if I'm not being creative, I go crazy,
Hmm.
and I'm dissatisfied with life and all the things. But that's also because I've chosen to create a life where I am an artist. Um, it also environment, surrounding yourself with good people,
Mm-hmm.
people who feed your spirit, feed your soul,
Mm-hmm.
people who are willing to be there and listen, um, people who may be going through things themselves, and it not just be one sided in the sense of, oh, I'm gonna complain every single time I talk to you, and that's just our relationship. Complain, 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 complain. But then when that individual needs an ear, I'm not there for them, or they're not there. Like it's not a
100%.
reciprocal. Um, so to me, like, as I've gotten older, I'm much better about weeding out those type of situations where I have made, like, literally, I actually said the other day, I just want two friends, or I'm okay if I only have two friends, because and I'm okay with that. Um,
I'm sorry.
get it out, get it out.
No, but like it's one of
Because
those things
I
where you
get
understand, right? You really understand, like, girl, it just I love my friends, but girl, if it's just two of them, okay, I'm good. Like,
But
it.
I even took it a step further, and I did this earlier this week. I started deleting people off of my social media.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I deleted people who are basically like monitoring spirits,
oh,
um,
I was
ghost
just gonna talk on
accounts.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, ghost accounts that, like, I haven't spoken to or even thought about in years. People who I follow but they don't follow me. People who followed me then unfollowed me just so I could follow them, but then they never interact with any of my stuff. I didn't realize Instagram actually had a feature where it says like the least amount, like there's
Interacted
like,
with.
yeah, least
Yeah.
interacted with. So I started
Hmm.
going through that list and deleting people.
Yeah.
And I think I started this week with 10, 1,010 people. I'm down to like six and some change now.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
and still going.
Good.
yeah.
Yeah, because, and some of them, watching some of their posts was depressing, because it could be a number of different things, but it just wasn't good for me to see. It would put me in a headspace, or it would just make me feel a certain type of way that I did not like,
Mm-hmm.
and I would rather not deal with it than to. The and the plus side to that is, my personal belief is that is inviting in other energies that I want to welcome,
Mm-hmm.
because now I have more discernment. Because, when I put this thing up on my page the other day about, I used to think that social media was all about quantity, how many
Hmm.
followers you have, how many likes you were getting, how many this, how many that. It's about quality. And I would rather have quality social media interactions, quality followers, quality social media friends, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm learning more and more so who those people are. And I'm becoming more okay with that. And like I said, if I end up with two friends at the end of it, that's okay. That is
And I
a
think
okay.
too,
Totally
right?
fine.
Like social media is psychologically is like destroying us mentally. I want to
Yeah.
say it's a hindrance and a helper. So if you're running a business, it's like one of the best ways to go. But also, like, when you're trying to run a business too, there's things have changed so much that, like, sometimes there's just not even no point of putting your business on social media because Instagram has changed so much. If they would have just stayed with the original formula of like friends and interacting, but like now it's become like this ad marketplace, right? And then it went to be a baby
Mm-hmm.
TikTok, and like there's just so many things, right? And then when you start to look at social media from an aspect of the scrolling aspect of it, the dopamine hits. And so when your mind and your brain gets used to those hits and then it doesn't get those hits, then you start to feel depressed because you're so used to that instant gratification of seeing something funny or seeing this or whatever the case is. And then when you don't get it, then it starts to really mentally affect you. And I
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not going to sit here and lie. I noticed it. And so now I put myself, and this has been for quite some time now, where I put myself on breaks of doing that because
Yes.
it really will mentally affect you.
Yeah.
because then you start comparing yourself to people. Then you start like, oh, I want to do this, and then you get overwhelmed and overstimulated because it's like, well, I want to do, oh my god, all these things at one time, and then when it doesn't happen instantly because that's what you're so used to, it's like, okay, I'm a failure. I can't do this. And then you retreat. And so I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, something has to change because this cannot be my life. And so now I limit myself to how much, even, and sometimes it's hard, right? Because it's so easy to just pick up the phone and scroll and look through. Now it's like, all right, before bed, you need to be reading a book. That is, you have to be reading a book. You cannot go to bed scrolling through your phone. Even waking up, you must go and walk the dogs without your phone before doing anything else when you wake up in the morning. Put your clothes on, go and walk the dogs, take 10 minutes of just like embracing whatever's around you, and then come and start your day. Starting
Yeah.
your day, meaning leaving that phone there by your side until you're actually ready to pick it up because it really will. Like, it's so, and I've noticed it, like, it's so true. And it's psychologically marketed to do that to us, to
Yeah.
keep us in these spaces of scrolling. That's why the scroll thing is this, because it's so easy to keep doing this all
Yeah.
day. And then sometimes you wind up, you're like, oh my God, it's been 3 hours and I've been on TikTok just a looking. And I've wasted 3 hours of
And
my day and I could have
ain't
been doing
accomplished a
something,
damn thing.
not
Yeah.
a damn thing. And then you get sad that you didn't accomplish anything. Then you start comparing yourself to these people that have accomplished things because they said they accomplished things, but then behind the screen they depressed as well too. So then it's all like, girl, it's
It's
so bad. It's so
it's
bad.
um it's really, and it's so crazy you say that because you got me thinking about, like during the pandemic when TikTok first started, my shit was thriving.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, likes, followers,
Oh, girl,
comments,
you was getting monetized.
right? I was pushing out the content, but and the monetization is a curse. That's the thing.
It is.
It is because that's when the views stopped. That's
Mm-hmm.
when my videos, the quality wasn't as good. People weren't like, it wasn't being pushed out to the algorithm the way it was before. And I
Yeah,
realized that it was being done on purpose.
of
And
course.
it's been about what, 3 or 4 years, and my TikTok has, I mean, I get like a hit here and there. But it used to be consistent. Every video I posted was like out there getting big numbers, da da da.
Yeah.
And I just never understood why. And then I lost the passion for it. And then, of course, a lot of other stuff around that time period happened too.
Right.
And I'm just like, I've kind of tried to put myself in a headspace of the numbers don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Just post it.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
like, I recently posted. I, I know somebody's gonna have something to say about this in the comments, but like I posted that AI Sailor Moon music video that I did of of us as the Sailor Moon characters.
Mm-hmm.
Who's gonna have something to say about it?
You know how folks feel about AI.
Yeah.
But see, you know
Yeah.
what's so too, a friend? Like, I think, like we were talking about earlier today, like you just have to go in the mindset of just do the thing that you want to do and not worry about what anybody else has to say. And I think that too, that's a limiting factor into a lot of the things that we do in our lives, is that we're so worried, that we used to be, right? We used to be so worried about the numbers and the engagement. And I think that people will gravitate towards authenticity and gravitates towards something that's real versus something that just seems like someone's put it out for whatever the case that might, like,
Yeah,
they got to collab with this. Like, you can tell when
yeah,
someone is promoting a brand or something like that that is just not authentic to what they are used to. It's like, oh, I tried this like vitamin here, blah. Girl, you ain't tried that vitamin. You a lie. It ain't did nothing for you. They just paid you your little $200 and it ain't did nothing for you. So get out of my. And so that's where I started to, like, in that mindset of getting myself mentally out of that. It's just all like, girl, half the
hmm
stuff is not real on the internet. And so, like, I'm not believing anything, and I'm going to do what's authentic to me, and people are going to gravitate towards that. And I think that people are really starting to see that because everything comes out that some influencer was either scamming, stealing money. They had all this, but they were
racist.
depressed like this, all the things, right? And so
Yeah,
we're mentally stressing ourselves out trying to, like, be that next person. It's kind of like, girl, half these people not even who they are, who they say they are. So why am I trying to compete with this person or be like this person? So
it's all
Uh-huh.
illusions. But yeah,
yeah.
no, because to me, I feel like that's probably why I did so well, because it's more so. an artistic expression that is based in appreciation for an existing property.
Right.
Mhm.
And there's something that I
Right.
want to touch on, and it's actually you, Daddy D, who kind of gave me this. We had a private conversation a couple weeks ago,
Uh-huh.
and it got me thinking about wearing depression.
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was thinking about this, and oh, okay, this is going. We're about to get real vulnerable,
Go.
um, because I'm hard on myself about my physical appearance. It's
Mm-hmm.
become more apparent as I've gotten older in the past, like maybe 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And I used to think that I look older than I am, and that I look older than my peers. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
actually starting to think that that's not the case. That
Yeah.
I'm wearing my depression on my face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I saw the difference. Actually, I do think that I'm getting better because I'm starting to see my youth come back, or what I consider my youth to come back. Because let's, what was
That's me
that?
slapping you across the screen.
You're always youthful. It's in your
Correct.
face. It's in your smile. Like
Correct.
even right now. Like
Correct.
you're you're
Everything
you're a
you walk
light.
in it. Yes.
Yes.
But it made me more aware of it having that conversation with you.
Mm-hmm.
And because, like, you showed me like that before and after picture.
Yes. Oh
And
yeah. So that's on my close friends because after I was naked and I got coworkers and families that follow me and I'm
I
not
mean, I
trying to
wasn't going to say
be
all that, but you go
out
ahead.
there, but no, no,
I
of
think I
course.
may have seen it too because I'm in agreement with the close friends too. And I was like,
Yeah,
yes, sister. Yes,
yes,
yes.
yes. It's and I did that just because it's like I didn't even notice it. Cause I
Hmm.
mean, most people know like everything that had happened this year with
Hmm.
me. And one day I was looking in the mirror and I was just like, oh my gosh. I was like, we've been eating. Cause when you're grieving, well, at least when I'm grieving, like I don't want to do anything. And my friend Paul, he had checked in on me and he was just like, what do you need? I was like, I don't need anything. He was like, nigga, stop lying. He was like, it's okay to tell people that you're hungry and you don't feel like cooking. And I didn't. I had like food all in my fridge that was not about to get cooked. And I was like, I had been door dashing and I was like, he was like, if you want me to door dash you, just say that and I'll do it. And he was like, but
Hmm.
tell people that's what you want. I
Mm.
kind of took advantage of that a little too much and before I knew it, I had put on, some extra weight. But the conversation that me and Marcus were having, I was saying, yeah, I noticed that was depression weight, but I'm not ashamed of that before picture. And I'm not ashamed of that guy because I know what he was going through at that time and he was just coping the only way he knew how.
Hmm.
And it was through, as much sleep as he could possibly get, which wasn't a lot because I was just up all night, and food. And that was just basically it. And so I'm like, I'm protecting him, but also I see that my health is more important, So we recognized it. Let's cut back. We could DoorDash, but let's DoorDash a salad, or we can actually get up and make one.
I'm about to
I
say, I
grill
don't
some
trust the
chicken.
DoorDash salad.
Look at y'all saw I had ordered groceries earlier. I don't like to cook. But I just started eating a little healthier, going to the gym just a little bit more and, noticing the change. Like I had looked like this before and I knew that I could get back to that. I was just like, you're depressed. And on top of a bunch of other things that was going on. So I'm like, yeah, you're gonna put on some weight. But there was still a light inside of me. And that's always gonna be inside of me to where I can be where I'm at now and look at where I was at like 6 months ago and be like, oh, come here, let me give you a hug. There's nothing wrong
Mm.
with you. You lost your grandma. You
Mm.
know, you're in this new space and it's unfamiliar to you. And you're used to uh routine. So you're trying to, find your way. It's okay. It's all right, and
Yeah.
don't ever lose that. Don't ever lose that light. But you
But
need to
friend,
be
I've said this before
reminded.
too. You do, and that's the thing. I think that we
You
all
need
need
to
to
be
be
reminded,
reminded.
and which is why I love that we're all wearing this, because this is just a reminder that we are all survivors here.
Yeah,
Included is just that reminder for all of us. So
yeah,
when you wear it proudly.
Yeah.
Because you are here.
yeah.
You're here
Well,
in this world. You are included. You're existing. You're living. You are worthy of being here. You are a voice in this world.
well, it is
Use
great.
it.
It is great to feel included.
Yes, please.
And then, friend, if you look
All of
at like,
us.
it's so funny that you said that too, Davon, about the depression weight. When you look at that, right, Marcus, like think about all the things you were going through at that time, and we had talked about that prior. You were in a situation, and it wasn't all bad, but it wasn't great for you mentally as far as like what you were looking for in terms of support and stuff like that, right? So then that happened. Then, it just kind of spiraled from there. And that's all it was. And I mean, like, when you had asked me, and you're like, do I look like this or whatever? And I was like, well, girl, like, things happen, like, but it can always be changed. But like, as long as you keep that light inside of you, and I always said to people, don't ever let anybody steal your joy, no matter
Mm-mm.
what. The joy inside of you, you're gonna have your good days and your bad days, but don't let anyone have the power to steal your joy. Always keep that with you, no matter what. You may stumble and fall, but keep that joy and that light inside of you, because the moment they take that, they win. And if anything else, you don't want nobody to win that over you. And so, I mean, it's a thing, like, and it's great that you are seeing the light with inside of you even more than before, but also knowing that, like, girl, you don't look no older than any of us at all. You are
Yeah.
literally, we all look young as fuck as it is. So it's all like, so you're
I
not
mean,
looking like you 70, 80 years old, girl.
I mean,
So
I am only 25, so.
okay, well,
Absolutely.
okay, we'll
We
stick
were
with that.
Yeah.
It's,
Um.
but I
Yeah.
mean,
But
it is the thing like that. Curing depression is, and when you talk about curing depression, like, I've learned that, what do they call it? Functioning depression. Like, that is a thing. And when you really deep dive into the research on that, it's all like, wow. Like, because when
hmm
you think of depression, you think somebody who just doesn't want to do anything, who's unmotivated, who's kind of sad all the time. But functioning depression, people still go through the routine like nothing is going on, but mentally they are crying inside, and you can never tell, and you would never know. And
and
I'm
I
like, that's
see and
crazy.
see
I
that's the.
feel
Mhm.
sorry, go ahead.
No.
Sorry.
Well, I was gonna say, and see, that's the place of recognition that I'm getting to, because, like I said, I've become more selective and more aware of my what and who I put my energy into,
Yes.
because I have dealt with and been around individuals who are basically functioning depression, like are walking with functioning depression, and they are able to project their insecurities. And it's actually funny because I was having a great conversation with our good sister this weekend, and we were talking about how some people will view you as an easy target when they're dealing with their own demons.
Yep. Yep.
Yes. And of
hmm
course, we've had our conversations about this, dealing with our fair share. And it's very true. And, as a good person, you want to be there to support, but then they also can flip that and take it out on you.
hmm
Or the ones that genuinely act like they want to support you, but also like that's their way of making sure they keep in tabs on you to make sure that you're not excelling above them.
Yeah, I've
Yep.
had my fair share of that too. Cause you
Mm-hmm.
can,
Yep.
cause you can definitely tell the difference. You can
Mm-hmm.
tell when someone is genuinely for you and they are doing everything in their power to show love and support. Like, that's kind of where I'm at with people, particularly at this point in my life.
hmm
I and I know some people can only do what they can do, but to me, there, if you aren't showing up now, don't show up later.
Hmm.
I just like don't I don't expect myself and others, but what
Yeah,
I do expect is that like if you are going to do something, if you are say you're going to do something, if you're going to show up like you say you're going to show up, or are you going to say that you show up as this as a friend when I need you as a friend, then that's what I expect. I don't
yeah,
expect you to be like me, you know. But what I do expect is that you to stay on top of your word, and what I'm learning now is that a lot of people will make these promises, these false promises, and give you all of this. And,
yes,
that's a way of selling your energy is too. It's just to see, engage, like, oh, like
yeah,
dangle this carrot in front of you and then literally take it away. And then you're just left like in a state of like, okay, what happened? So don't waste my time. Like, I'm all
yeah,
about peace. I tell people all the time, they're like, well, what do you want? Peace. And if I feel like I'm not getting my peace and it's affecting my mental, I don't want to be bothered with it. And
Mm-mm,
it's a tough
mm-mm.
battle when it comes with that because when you think about friendships as well too, when you're growing and shedding your skin and transforming, it's very uncomfortable and it's very uneasy because friendships get lost in the way. And it's not bad, like you guys are in on bad terms. It's just a matter of you drift apart because you're growing in different directions. And I'm understanding and seeing that now that like you can't take everyone with you, number one. And number two, everyone is not who they say they were to you. And so you
Hmm.
just got to keep on moving and just let the cards fall where they may. Because what
Yeah.
I'm not going to keep doing is apologizing for things that I've not done wrong about. I will always hold myself accountable if you come to me and say, hey, you've done this. But mentally, like, I'm not dealing with the shit because it's affected my peace. And I'm not doing that. And
Absolutely.
I just can't. I have way too much stuff that I'm dealing with on my own and myself to then take on the BS and pettiness that you want to bring to my life. Oh no, girl, we're good. And I'm very much if that's your narrative of me, girl, then keep it. I'm not gonna even argue. I'm not gonna identify a lie with the truth.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let you to believe what you believe and keep on going. You can tell, oh, he's such a bad friend. He don't do nothing for nobody. He can't never do nothing. You right, girl. I never do nothing.
Hmm. I
You are
don't.
absolutely. I don't. I never do nothing, girl. I am a terrible person. You're absolutely right. You're right, girl. Yes, you're right. I'm wrong.
Yes, I
You're
posted
right,
a
and I'm
I posted
wrong.
a video. I posted a video this week where the guy was talking about how they call some guys pick me's, and he was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a skip me please. If you think this about
Yeah.
me, please skip me
uh,
Right.
by all
Right.
means.
uh,
If you
Yeah.
think bad things about me, skip me please. That's what I'm okay with that. I am
yes,
totally
Yeah.
okay with that.
yes.
I'm not arguing with you. I am not trying to prove anything to you. If you believe it, believe it.
I'm posting that on my IG. I'ma skip me, cause
I'm gonna send it to you. I have it. I'm
please
gonna send it
do,
to you. Yeah.
cause I would relate that to like I have this rule. My rule is if you got to choose between me and somebody else, pick them.
Pick them.
Skip me. If you having a social gathering and somebody there that I don't like is there, pick them every time. I'm not
You
gonna be
would
mad at you. Pick
never.
them every time because I would rather stay at home and be at peace than to be in the presence of someone that does not care about me and quite
Mhm.
frankly, I don't care about.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I wanna
Yeah. Like no.
I wanted to bring up because we were talking about high functioning depression,
Hmm.
and it
Hmm.
just reminded me of Candy Burris, and we all know that she's like going through her
Yeah.
divorce. And I was watching something where she was talking about like how this has been going on, like her decision and everything that she was going through. And she was
For a
like, when y'all
minute.
were seeing, she, we good?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, she was like, when y'all were seeing me like on red carpets and in interviews, and I'm all smiling, she was like, you wouldn't even believe like everything that was going on behind the scenes, and it just made me really feel for her. Like, I know we're not going to talk about like celebrities and stuff like that, like that's not what we do, but I was just I felt for her because I was like, damn, like this is a woman, like she does so much and she has so many projects that she has put out there, and she can't hide, she can't just say I'm not going because she got money to make. That's a woman that's all about her money. And despite all that's going on in her personal life, like she had to do that. And I don't know. I've never I don't know if I can be that person. You might get me for 2 seconds as I'm trying to get home, but I can't function in that way. I'm either really quiet and distant, or you just don't see me at all.
Yeah.
You
I've
know,
been that
so
person though.
I have a very soft spot for people that go out into the world and they are battling depression, or they are just broken and you can't tell, which is why me and a lot of my other friends, like, because we're working on each other and you guys as well, I mean, you guys are my friends, but we're putting in so much work for ourselves, is sometimes we can recognize when there's a slight shift in our friends, in their personalities and in the way they walk. It's just like, you normally call me around this time. You haven't done that in a couple weeks. You good? You
Yeah.
know, like, I haven't seen you, on social media. You all right? I'm just checking in on you. And I've one like small story. Um, I was out with a friend on like a random Tuesday, and we went drinking, and he just got drunk as shit, like to where like he couldn't really function. And I'm like, bitch, it's Tuesday. We got to work tomorrow. We worked just a few hours ago. And it was embarrassing. He was embarrassing at the bar. He was embarrassing as I was trying to drive him home. And I was just so frustrated with him. But I made sure he got home. And when I got home, and I was like,
Something
something's
ain't
going
right.
on with him. Because you don't be getting drunk like this just on some random Tuesday. Like, it's something going on with you. So like when I hit him up the next day, it wasn't a bitch, you embarrassed the fuck out of me. What's wrong with you? It was like, are you okay?
Hmm.
Tell me what's going on. And of course, there was stuff going on in his personal life. So the work that we're putting in for ourselves and our understanding of our mental health and our healing journey helps us to have sympathy and empathy for others, and understand, just because you see somebody out doesn't mean they're not battling something, like it's causing us to
Oh
be
yeah.
kind and recognize these things and people out there in the
Oh
world,
yeah.
you know?
Like sometimes it's not necessarily about sitting in a dark room with Monica's "Everything to Me Are So Gone" playing with a glass of
Hmm.
Hennessy.
Yeah.
Um, I, sometimes it is you go out and you literally drink yourself stupid the entire weekend, or you work from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep because it's a form of escapism and it's your way of coping, because being by yourself is scary, because
Hmm.
when you're by yourself, when you're alone in those dark spaces and there's nothing but quiet around you, you have no choice but to deal with the things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
some people, unfortunately, aren't able to allow themselves to do that. So it's easier for them to just constantly surround themselves with people to escape, to be out working and escape, to be out and socializing and escape, to avoid the hard things that they have to deal with within themselves. And
Hmm.
that, and again, like, everybody's battle is different. That doesn't necessarily mean that what they're doing is wrong. It's just what they're doing to survive for themselves right at this particular time, because it can change. We all have the capability to change. We all have the capability to do better. We all have the capability to recognize, because that's also a thing too. A lot of people don't recognize that they're walking around with some form of depression or some
No.
mental thing going on. They're just like, oh, I'm just having a day, but then that day turns into years, and
Because
then,
we're taught to suppress that, especially as men.
oh yeah, oh yeah, and that to me is a whole other conversation, because
Yeah.
if we want to get into the auto unaliving of black men who simply because they are unable to express emotion because it's demonized, because it makes them look weak, they're feminine, blah 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 blah, all the
Sassy.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, all that
Oh,
shit.
you crying? Real men don't cry. Just all that
Hmm.
mess that we've heard over the years.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
And because of
Yeah.
that, it's internalized inside of us, and we battle with that even at our big age, even as we've grown into who we are and accept ourselves. I
Yeah.
mean, full transparency moment. Like, um, I was out with my sister a few weeks ago, and I had a damn near breakdown in the middle of the street. We was on the subway, and I just started crying, and I
Really?
refused to talk about what it was.
Mm,
Hmm. And
mm,
these, and that's also part of that whole mental thing that is taught to us as men of color. Suppress your emotions, deal with it internally, but then internally you struggle and you suffer.
yeah.
And then you end up wearing it on your
Hmm.
face and on your body, et cetera, et cetera. It manifests,
And
you
your
know,
behaviors.
behaviors, but also
Yeah.
health wise. Because
Yeah.
then that's when you get heart palpitations, ulcers, tumors. The list goes on and on and on.
Hmm.
So that's why it's so much better to just have these vulnerable moments, as uncomfortable as they may be, to just be able to. And I used to not have such an issue being vulnerable, but sometimes I do feel that vulnerability gets demonized. And
Yeah.
I think that's where it makes it harder for me to want to open up to people because, and I know there's probably a lot of people that will agree with this, because when you open yourself up to be vulnerable to the wrong people, they will weaponize that.
Hmm.
You're a
Oh, bro, you
crybaby.
fine. You just going through something. It's okay.
Yeah.
Just like it out. Why you? It's like,
You're a
Yeah.
okay,
crybaby.
I
You're
hate
girl.
too
that.
soft. All the
I hate
things.
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Like they
I
basically
really hate
just
that.
they diminish your feelings in that regard when you're trying to express yourself. And so I think that goes back to empathy, like you said, Devon. Like we have to be empathetic to what people are going through, because you never know. Because again, like going back to wearing it, like full transparency, like I at one point in my life I was functioning depression, right? Like I went through the motions of everything is fine, blah blah blah. But for the most part with me, like people, because I wear my heart on my sleeve, you can tell when the transition switches, especially in the inner circle. People know when something's wrong with me, and
Oh
100%
yes.
because of the energy, because I read energies. And so also
Hmm.
too, when I don't fuck with you, you know that. But when I'm like not in my good spaces, the people that have been around me for so long, they know and they understand, and just like, okay, do we need to have a conversation? What's going on? But a lot of the times, like I had a lot of stuff from people where I was just kind of going through the motions, like everything is wonderful, everything is wonderful. But once I got in the house, there was crying, there was sadness, there was just like let me sleep all day. There was just moments of just like darkness. And so one day I had to, and this was actually I've had it a few times this year, just and again, like I feel like I'm just shedding my skin. But I want to say like June, July was when I was in a really, really like dark space where like I sat in the bed and I was like, okay, you have to snap yourself out of this because this is not who you are. It is okay to be sad. It is okay to be vulnerable. It is okay to be all of these things. But like ultimately, this is not who you see yourself as. And so we have to start and we have to make changes. And the first thing you're going to do is when you get up in the morning the next day is you're going to make the bed and you're going to take a shower and you're going to try to do something for yourself. And so now it's been it's still a struggle because I mean, again, we're transitioning, but what I've told myself, I have to do one thing for myself that I enjoy at least once or twice a week, right? So I think I was saying to Marcus and them the other week, I was like, I want to go and I want to do a few museums that have been on my list. So if that means I'm going to go in the daytime by myself, I'm going to do that because that's what brings me joy. Because number one, I'm gonna stop waiting on people, which I've never really wanted much to wait on people. If you don't want to be a girl, I'm not gonna force you. If you ain't ready,
Yeah.
I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? But two, I have to stop limiting myself and stop living my life for the sake of others. And I've done that for so much of my life. When it comes to my family, my sisters, all that stuff, a lot of my life has been lived for somebody else. And my relationships live for somebody else. I always take the back seat to be like, okay, what can I do to make you happy while diminishing my own self and not pouring into myself? and even in friendships. And so by the time I go to pour into myself, I'm like, well, I ain't got no other juice to do, so I'm just gonna lay down and be sad about it. I was like, I cannot
Yeah.
do that anymore. And so
Nope.
now it's like, okay, you need to be around people who are gonna also pour into you, but also what are you doing for yourself to get through the day to be better for yourself? Because people are going to be here for you. You're going to have people that love you who are going to be here for you at the to the end of the time. But there are a lot of people that once you are gone, that's it. People move on. Their lives move on. And all this time you were worried about what they were doing, how they felt, try to live their life, you live your life for them, and they've already moved on. So then
Yeah.
you've lost most of your life living for somebody else. I can't do that anymore. And it's
Nope.
exhausting. I
It
refuse, I
is.
cannot do that anymore. And so if we can't be halfway, if we can't compromise, if we can't see eye to eye, or at least figure out how to see eye to eye, then this is not for me. Like I'm not gonna sit here and argue back and forth with you to make you feel comfortable for something that's just so minuscule. And a lot of the shit that people get so mad about is just so minuscule. Oh,
Hmm.
girl,
You did this.
right,
Okay, I
girl.
didn't fucking mean to. Shit.
Right. Girl, look who's in office. Look who's in office. That's what you should be worried about. Look at our rights. That's what you should be worried about. Like mentally every day I have to make sure that I don't like look at anything that's dealing with this administration because it's so mentally draining.
And don't even get me started on the people that always want to share shit. Oh my god. Like I had to get to a point where I literally had to do a PSA at one point, as it was particularly during the pandemic when it first started, and everybody kept fear mongering and sending shit about, oh, this is what's actually happening. The pandemic, it was actually and all these conspiracy videos and this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
Shut when you think about it.
And I legit had to, I had to say, if you send me anything else, I will block you. Please stop sending me this stuff. I'm already dealing with a lot. Like the world is upside down. I just want to focus on some form of stability and happiness.
Yes.
And I need my black people. I need y'all really. I need y'all to be released from the shackles of everything being a conspiracy theory, number one. The church being your therapy and mental institution, number two. And we just need to do better. Religion is not our, when it
Don't even
comes to
get me
that, like,
started.
like, and I just have to touch on it because I have to touch on it because it's just really in my spirit. I remember in those times, oh, go speak to the church, go pray about it, go speak to the pastor. I am all about spirituality and, the tongue being very powerful and all the stuff like that. But girl, the pastors ain't even right themselves. So why am I gonna go to somebody who's not certified to even talk about a subject of what I'm dealing with to just sit here,
Yeah.
well, God gonna handle it, and if you give your tithes this week, he gonna save it. So I gotta give
Hmm.
money to be saved mentally. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, girl. Don't
Yeah.
miss me with
Yeah.
that. Skip me because I don't want any part of it. I don't.
Skip
I
me,
don't.
please.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. Well, if you pray about it, this gonna be this and that. And if you pray, you can't pray. You cannot pray bipolar disorder away. You cannot pray like deep depression away. You cannot pray these things away. Sometimes you have to go and get help, the help that you need. You can't pray suicidal thoughts. Sometimes you need to speak to a therapist. You cannot pray body dysmorphia and all these challenges that you don't know. You need resources and tools. And the Bible is not it. I'm sorry. It's not a book that you can open and just like automatically change your life. It doesn't
You
do that.
cannot pray the gay away.
You cannot pray to get
Yes,
away.
Lord knows we
Like
tried.
We have
absolutely.
tried.
And then on top of that, we've tried, and what did it do? It led to depression. It led to us like
Mhm.
the suicidal thoughts. It led to us thinking that we were not valued as individuals, that we were going to hell. And so
Mhm.
that's a whole other spiral within itself. Like, no. And you have to accept like this is what it is. And it's just like, girl, I just used to get so mad. Well, if you pray to God and it's just gonna get better. Girl,
Okay,
don't
girl.
exhaust me.
Now,
Right.
hey, first of all, you got me thinking about two different things. You got me thinking about that anime video that I created of us the other day from Walmart. But
Oh,
then I'll send it to you, Javon, so you can
I
see what
actually
I'm
feel
talking
so bad
about.
about doing that now, but it was actually funny at the time.
It was. I mean, honestly, I don't. I
So basically,
don't.
Davine, we were at Walmart which I hate going there too, but it was like I had to go in there because one of our friends had never been to Walmart and we had to pick up a Christmas tree. So we ended up going there, whatever. And these two young boys are on their mission or whatever. And it was like, oh, heaven. I was like, I turned around and said, we're witches. And
Yeah,
so you see
I
in the
was
craft,
like,
but it was like, watch out for the weirdos. And we were like, we are the weirdos. But mind you, I had this long black puffer coat and the puffer coat is blowing through the wind. And I turned around and like, we're witches. So it really looked like we were witches. But I'm all like, girl, no, because I don't want to hear nothing about St. Paul Joseph discovered this and this. No, I'm not doing with nobody's religion that some man created to make women
Mm,
subservient and to tell gay people
no.
that they're nobody. No, no, skip me, skip me,
like
skip me,
Skip me,
skip me.
please.
skip me.
I even went as
Skip me,
far as like
please.
it was like a month or two ago. One of the women, this woman that I know, super devout, self righteous Christian woman, black woman, older. She rubbed like in a car full of people. We're all like we all know each other, so she didn't go to a random car full of us. She came and like put like oil on our foreheads, and I literally said to her, "Why is it burning?" Yeah,
Because here's my thing: what Black people don't understand is that the Bible, first of all, has been interpreted in so many ways and taken, and the Bible was used to tell us that slavery was okay. So why are you believing something that's built on? You know, well, that's a different topic. Before I start getting on my soapbox, we talk about mental health. So, anyways,
It's
but
very
because I'm
easy
about to
that
go
is the
in,
thing.
to
That
because
is
I'm
the
about to
thing
go
go
off.
in.
because some people will use religion and certain forms of spirituality as a coping mechanism for their vices or
And
for
when you top
whatever
it
they're
off, when we
going
talk about
through.
mental health, there's religious psychosis. Like there are people out here with religious psychosis that are like literally that's all they think, breathe, whatever, and it's made them crazy in the mind, and that's all that they know. That they'll
Yeah.
be the ones out there screaming with their microphones and God is this and that. I was like,
Oh
y'all,
my God.
you have a mental disorder, like, and you don't even realize it, and you should have
Yeah.
been prayed that away. But here you are in the streets rolling around in circles with your microphone. Like, girl, skip me, skip me, skip me.
Moral of the story
Give me, please.
is skip me.
So, do you need a break? Well, I mean, I feel like we touched on the topic of mental health. I mean, I feel like we all have done therapy at one point to really get our lives together. I did, but
Child,
my
I'm about
therapist
to.
ghosted me at one point, so I stopped doing therapy because he ghosted me. But I mean, I think that it's very important. I think everybody should at least tap into therapy just to get or gauge and resources and tools to help you navigate, because sometimes, like you said, Davon, we try to figure it out, and you said the same thing, Marcus. We try to self figure it out and we can't. Sometimes we need
Yeah.
resources and tools to really like navigate through life. But
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
yeah.
I'm about to go get me a Reiki rub down.
Oh, yes.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
So,
Oh, yeah.
well, I mean, I guess that's it. Like, make sure y'all stay mentally healthy and make sure y'all check in and tap in too. And I want to end unless you guys have something to say, but I think it's very important. And Devon, you brought it up when you text your friend and you said, "Are you okay?" We don't ask that enough. Are you
Hmm.
okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay? I think that's a very important question than anything else is, are you okay? Because I feel like if someone were to ask me that every now and then, I'll be more than open and vulnerable enough to be like, hey, I'm not okay, and say that, because that to me is such a genuine question that you are actually curious to know, am I truly okay? Versus, you know, hey girl, how you doing? Are you good? All right, perfect. But are you
Yeah.
okay? Because I noticed
And don't
this. And
lie
it's
to
all like,
me.
hmm,
Hmm.
right.
Yeah.
Right. So, well, thank you guys so much for just supporting us and being here for us, listen to our conversations, us rant, laugh, joke. Like, this has been such a monumental thing for us. I mean, as some of you know, Davon and I started this a long time ago, and then life happened. But then we thought, you know what? The community needs it. We need it. So we got our good sister Marcus here. So we want to thank y'all so much for just like being there, supporting
Yes.
us on Boy Guess What. If y'all got something to say, go ahead.
Yeah. I want to thank y'all. Like, this is therapy for me.
Hmm.
Being able to talk about certain subjects with two people that I love and I trust, and and share it with the world. I'm pretty sure people can relate to things that we say, and we've got a lot of positive feedback. So I'm just excited for what's in store for the future. So, and everybody who've watched and subscribed and followed, thank you.
Hi, I, hi, I'm Marcus, and thank you for watching. Boy, guess what? Don't forget to comment, rate, share, and subscribe. We will be back sooner than later. We hope everybody has a safe, wonderful, and happy holiday season. Take care.
Oh my God, girl, that was giving so much AI. No, but real. But no, thank you so much, guys. And y'all will see us back in February because we have some stuff in store in February.
Oh, yes.
We have some retreats, we have some collaborations that are coming out. So February is when y'all see us. And thank you to Included, which is Davon's clothing brand that sponsored this episode. Shout out to Included
Yay.
because everybody is included. And Davon, if you want to go ahead and put a spot
Abs-
out there on what Included means and what it's about, and how we can purchase this wonderful gear.
Yes, absolutely. Included is a brand that focuses on advocacy for mental health awareness. I started it in 2020. It is a community and it is also a clothing brand. You can find me at included.com. I am on Instagram, included. I am on TikTok, included, spelled ENKLUDED. Just a nice play on words. Support small businesses, support black businesses, support local, support queers, support trans, support your
Period.
friends.
Period.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all in February. Thank you.